It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing an authentic relationship with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-491-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade in Costco.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy Snowy Friday. Jay Foreman, DP Austin Orman. We are the Old School crew coming at you live, 1040 O Street. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients, a butcher shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andremat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. A lot going on, obviously, with the college football playoff final game of the second round was completed yesterday. Obviously have NFL playoff implications coming this weekend. Big game Sunday night up in Detroit. And then obviously with transfer portal news, we weren't able to get to it yesterday. We are going to give everybody, which is the highlight of my day, the transfer portal numbers. See if we hear anything which mean for Nebraska, or I wouldn't say against additions or subtractions. I think we got a little bit of traction with a player at Nebraska that I have a ton of respect for. Just has some unfortunate circumstances. Potentially, it's out there that Gabe Ervin potentially has found a home at Kansas State. Good for him and good for Kansas State. I think he will do well. Number one, we'll just start with Gabe, just because I think he's a unique, I guess, prospect and situation when it comes to the transfer portal. And really, the transfer portal, let's just say, is 80% of, and it might be an overestimation, 80% of guys that just want their back patted and belly rubbed, right, and just love to get recruited. But I think there's a small percentage that sometimes gets thrown in the wrong categories of kids like Gabe, of guys like Gabe, right? He came in, I mean, to be honest with you, he was head and shoulders. It wasn't even a doubt out there that he was the best running back on the team when he was a true freshman. And then he had the unfortunate injury down there at Oklahoma. Then kind of fought.
His shoulder at Oklahoma?
No, it was a knee.
knee.
It was knee, and then he had his shoulder. Then he had the weird freak injury with his hip, and it didn't look like much, which never does. I mean, if you go back and watch the Bo Jackson one, that didn't look like, you didn't see like his a big blowout, but he was able to battle back from that and be a good teammate, work really, really hard. I think he exceeded expectations to where I think people were, he'll never play again, and so forth and so on. And he looked good at times whenever he got a chance to play. It just so happens that people leveled up around him, and Ramir came back from injury. You had obviously Anthony Grant and obviously Dowdell this last year that came in. So you kind of get lost in the shuffle. Then he goes into the portal. A little bit of slower process probably than what he liked. I think he came in here and just talked about it. And everybody that I've ever talked to about Gabe, including myself, which I can definitely talk or vouch for, ton of respect for him. So I'm truly happy for him to find a place to go and compete. And because really, when you go your whole college career and you haven't been able to really get the carries, not by like given to you, just to, to earn them, just because of unfortunate circumstances, you're always happy for a kid like that, just because that better things will be happening for him. And fortunately and unfortunately, it just won't be at Nebraska.
Yeah, I thought that this season was an opportunity for us to get more clarity on exactly what is a good transfer in, what is a good recruit.
Yeah.
What things people are looking for inside the program, and the things that will force people to get outside. And I think ultimately that you've raised the standard. So quite frankly, when you raise the standard, you eliminate some folks.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't mean less of Gabe Ervin. It doesn't mean less of Nebraska. It simply means that in this day and age, you now get the opportunity to fix a wrong or to better your situation. And it could be that this is win-win.
Yeah, I think it is.
Right.
I mean, I think it's
right that Gabe is going to be in a better spot with another opportunity, and that the Huskers are in a good spot with having folks who can actually tote the mail and deliver. So it's those things all in play, and we just circle this one and go, before we jump too far in the pool, let's consider that it could be best for both.
It's too easy. Every time somebody transfers, I mean, and there's there's a tag to every transfer in or transfer out, and it's not just the guys that transfer out; it's the guys that transfer in. Why are you here? How did you get here? And what are you looking for? Do you really, and does that all add up once you're here? And it's so easy to say, okay, well, something must have happened. It could just be like, look, had a bad string luck or a string of bad luck. I want to go somewhere where I can potentially, be the guy or get a ton of carries. And you have guys around him. I mean, the emergence of Emmett Johnson and then Quentin Ives is you can't minimize that. And then you got a freshman coming in, and so you start to see just where you're at. And it doesn't mean that there's any strife with the coaching staff or any of the coaches. It's just like, all right, I got to go for another opportunity. And I'm sure the coaches are looking at it as the same. They want the best for Gabe, and Gabe wants the best for Gabe as well. And Gabe wants Nebraska to win. And if it's true, which you're waiting until it's official. If he's at Kansas State, that's a big get for Kansas State. A program like him or a program like them, where you're getting a player on the mend, extremely motivated and focused, a great locker room guy. He's going to work hard. He's tough. He came up in a good high school program. He's accountable. he will provide a punch to your team, willing and able and actually good on special teams. So you're getting like if you go into the portal and all those things I just mentioned right there, all are in the checkbox, you're actually winning. So there is no losing situation in this scenario for anybody.
I think there's the two ways to look at it, right? He just seems like a Chris Kleiman guy, down to earth, humble, hardworking. I know he's not from the Midwest, but you see the big body in his running style. You get Midwest vibes. I like that aspect of it. And then think about who he's in the backfield with. Dylan Edwards.
Yep.
Dylan Edwards and Gabe Ervin are not the same football player.
Yep.
There is a role there for Gabe Ervin to walk into, and that's great for him on all accounts.
Well, we saw it last year with Kansas State with Giddens. Is it Giddens or Giddens?
Giddens, yeah.
Giddens, where now he's, declared and on, towards the NFL, where you had that thunder and lightning and power, whatever you kind of speed and power, whatever you want to kind of dice their names up at, and they played off each other. And Gabe is can definitely be the battering ram, but also I think he has enough ability to have a little bit of wiggle, make you miss, tough, good ball security, smart, actually better out of the backfield than his build looks. And he's wanting an opportunity. He is motivated to show you. So you're not going to get a guy that's going to go there and kind of just sit back and think he's arrived. You're going to get, as much as you can, the best version of him. And it also pairs with one of the most electrifying players, not only in the Big 12 and Dylan Edwards, but in the nation, as far as, being able to go 0 to 100, a 5-yard, flat pass, 70-yard touchdown. And then you got the battering ram that has actually a little bit more ability than what people think. I think it's a good mix, and you're happy. I'm happy for him, man.
Did you catch the conversation? There's some ESPN conversation about the difference of what today's game with the transfer portal and NIL has now put into play. Is that what always existed before with the SEC is that your number one guy was, if you were the top running back at Georgia, you were an NFL Sunday guy. But behind him was also an NFL Sunday guy. And maybe behind him, there was an NFL Sunday guy. Well, now that third dude goes to get his somewhere else because it has that immediate value. And
and so does the second.
Right. We forget so often, man, we're talking about folks that don't have. You're talking about people that in a lot of cases, now it's not for everybody, and I don't want to paint that picture, but there are a lot of stories of not well-off families in the country. And all of a sudden, people are showing up your door. Again, in some of these cases, listen, if they had showed up my door in 1979, 1980 and said, hey, man, here's $5,000 for you to play ball in college, cash. And it's $5,000 more than what everybody else was offering. Listen, my grandmother would have signed for me, would have drove me herself, right?
I'll make sure he gets there,
right? And made dinner for everybody, right? Like on the way. So we have to remember that as we talk about this stuff, that this is family and generational wealth-changing opportunities.
Yeah.
And we cannot just simply put it on greed or, back pat or otherwise. Sometimes, hey, man, you offer. Listen, we don't have anybody here that isn't listening to Six Figure Conversation. We don't have anybody here who all levels of talent and otherwise. There's nobody in this building who, if somebody called and said, you want to talk about this six figures? We're all listening.
Yeah.
Then we have to remember as we have these conversations that stuff is in play.
Yeah, it's a unique time in college football. It's a unique time for college athletes, student athletes, if you want to even call them that, use that word loosely, to not only get a step ahead in this game called life, but get 10 to 15 steps to 20 steps ahead. And really, to be honest with you, in a lot of ways, probably hadn't put in the work. I mean, if you're getting guys straight out of high school, getting paid, millions of dollars, you haven't put in the work, and you haven't proven yourself. You got a lot of potential, but you can't blame them for accepting it or going out and getting yours. So whatever it may be, I know it's going to work out for Gabe because he's a good dude. good kid. It's going to work out for Kansas State because they got a good dude. It's going to work out for Nebraska because they got some good guys there. But the transfer portal is just very interesting to where it's at and where it's going. It's affected the way college football is played. It's going to affect college football and the college football playoffs for years to come until there is some sort of regulation or it's just some sort of outline of what you can and can't do. And also obviously accountability along those lines as well. And then once that happens, I think it's going to be so much parity in college football that people will yearn for what we have had prior to right now. But that's sometimes what you need. But ultimately, the players got to take advantage of it. And so do the teams and coaches that get an opportunity to be on the big stage. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We're going to talk. I want DP and Austin's thoughts, and I'll give mine as well on Notre Dame breaking through. Remember, I said yesterday, if not now, when? And it was I think it was an exclamation point win. How they were able to finish, come out and be physical and all that stuff. So we'll dive into more of that in the second segment. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henry's at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game & Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people. Small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, we're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman. Old School, once again, coming in this Friday. A little bit of snow. Looked like it's lighting up a little bit, but I guess Armageddon, the first one, is coming on Sunday. But before we get into that, Georgia and Notre Dame locked horns, or no, we shouldn't say locked horns. Got after it a little bit yesterday, or yesterday afternoon. Notre Dame, was the favorite team. They played better. They earned it. I think the chinks in the armor that you saw from Georgia at times, and whether it was in their wins against Texas twice or in their loss against the likes of Alabama, so forth and so on, reared their ugly head, and even with the backup quarterback. And I felt like, to be honest with you, the backup quarterback, Stockton, who came in for Beck, he actually played pretty dang good. I felt like Georgia's offensive line was porous this year compared to years in the past, and that's to be expected when you've had first-round pick at left and right tackle year after year after year after year. You had probably one of the most dominant college football players in recent probably 7 to 10 years in Brock Bowers. You had receivers picked. Obviously, we got the knucklehead up in Pittsburgh, George Pickens, who's extremely talented, but probably about as mature as an infant, but so forth and so on. And Notre Dame, I was a little surprised how they won, but I'm not surprised considering it seems like right now, besides Ohio State, they are playing the most consistent football in all three phases, and that's offense, defense, and special teams.
So John Thompson used to talk about the difference between a talented player with his own ambition and motivation, and a talented player who is then given additional motivation. And the difference between the guy that all of a sudden, Georgia's been there, it's fully expected that they were just going to deliver. You know what? We're going to walk in the door. Yeah. We're going to throw that big G out on the field, and you're going to bend down and fall over and roll over and play dead. Except a thing happened. A thing happened in that, hey, man, I'm not giving you nothing. You held Georgia. This Georgia offense, and I don't care who's playing quarterback in this offense, you held them to 10 points.
Yeah.
You held them to 10 points. And you can tell me that it same old Notre Dame. No. Them dudes came to the party with the whole point of this is for us. This is about us. And I don't know why people miss this when it comes to college football. The more teams you invite into this thing, you invite more people an opportunity to have their moment. That's why March Madness is what it is. Princeton gets its moment. UMBC gets its moment.
Oakland.
Right. Oakland gets its moment. James Madison gets its moment. George Mason gets its moment where it stares at the big dog and says, man, I ain't scared of you. I'm scared of you. You got to play and compete and beat me. I'm not giving it to you. And Notre Dame said, Georgia, on a day when you're not at your best, we taking this W.
It's that part that stood out to me is that there's all this conversation about, the teams that got the buys all got beat. They didn't win. I think Georgia needed the bye to get Gunnar Stockton ready to go. He did play pretty well, right? You saw the arm, you saw the intangibles. I think he's going to be good for him down the line. But I think what we saw more than anything Georgia showed or didn't show was a different Notre Dame. Credit Marcus Freeman for this, credit the players for it, because Jay, you've told the story, right? The Manti Te'o thing. They look at Alabama and say, that's different, right? They're shook coming out of the tunnel. Notre Dame didn't look shook. at all, which is kind of weird for them in big moments. But I think what helped them was getting specifically little brother Indiana in the first round.
Yeah.
Because you can puff up their Notre Dame ego, puff it out a little bit, stand a little taller. Who do you think you are? You're a basketball school. This is our state. This is our sport. Feel good about themselves. Win it the way they did. And then they had big plays, right? They get the field goal. They get a huge strip sack that turns into points. And then to take the opening kickoff back, Notre Dame had a chance. They had more momentum in this game than they ever have. And they capitalized on it. And I think it started with the Indiana game. And then if Carson Beck plays, I think that's a one-possession game. Notre Dame still might win, but I think that there's just something in that program that they would have talked themselves into. It's the same quarterback still there. They're still really good. Georgia's motivated from last year. If Carson Beck is healthy and plays, maybe Notre Dame still wins, but I think that Notre Dame's team still shows up a little scared. So I think having played Indiana and smelling blood with a backup quarterback, that helped Notre Dame puff its chest out, and they played their best game because of it.
But Jay, isn't there the slightest bit possibility that Indiana was really good?
Also true.
Yeah.
That Indiana was really good, and Notre Dame
just
right,
better.
Right. That Notre Dame and Indiana looked each other dead square in the face in a brawl. Mm-hmm. Right. Like this is the thing. And listen, after you faced a well-coached, a superbly coached Indiana team, right, with all the bells and whistles and gadgets, you ain't afraid of Georgia. You're not afraid of Georgia. That was, look, well, you had your meaningful brawl.
I think Georgia was an easier game for Notre Dame. This Notre Dame team, coached by Marcus Freeman, to get ready for than Indiana. And it just comes down to the stress that Indiana's offense potentially could have put on a well-coached, extremely talented defense in Notre Dame. That coming into the season, that was going to have to essentially, like I say, carry the pail of water up the slippery side of the mountain, and they more than did so. And so I think DP's right. It gave you that quiet confidence. But then also, let's not forget, all the pressure was on Notre Dame because you're facing and hearing, and it could be subconsciously, some of the ghosts of the past. You mentioned Manti Te'o, Notre Dame against Alabama and Bears. Notre Dame in the college football playoffs numerous times, to where it was a moral victory where they stayed within 2 scores within Clemson, and it looked a lot different. And then Brian Kelly is gone. Here comes Marcus Freeman. A little bit of the struggles. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go back to that Texas A&M game. In that environment against the SEC school, that gave them something to lean back on. Now, granted, they dookie down their leg against Northern Illinois. They're able to get their another shot, which doesn't happen very often. But they stayed the course and they got better. The chippiness also of Notre Dame and the ruthlessness of some of their players against USC let me know this is a different type of team. And Marcus Freeman has got them playing really well. And this is a definitely more beatable Georgia team than ever before, right? Even with Carson Beck, he played well. Receivers, not so much. And we saw that last night. Etienne and Frazier have ran the ball well at times, but not on a consistent basis. We saw that last night. And then on the flip side, Notre Dame knows it's the running back Love. He's the guy to stop. He still averaged 5.7 yards a carry. And this is what Riley Leonard going, I think he went 18 to 24 for just 90 yards. So they were able to beat you in small ball. They were able to beat you up. And then on top of it, to get the party started in the second half, let's take it to the house. So when you talk about beating a team like Georgia, you got to win in all 3 phases. Notre Dame did that last night. Definitely impressed by the way that they've been coached, the way they've been consistent, and then also motivated. They're going to be a tough out, and they got a big battle with Ohio State, but Ohio State knows
it's Penn State.
Or Penn State, excuse me. I keep getting them mixed up because they usually play each other, and the article I've been reading is about when McCord last year was able to drive him down the field. So, Notre Dame is in a very good spot, and so is Texas and Ohio State and Penn State. And it's going to come down to what team handles the first 3 days after this last weekend the best.
Who played in the more physical game?
Oh, that was Notre Dame and Georgia.
Right? Like that's the one where you go, huh. And then you ask the question, what's the value of the additional time off? Because we just had the discussion that, they should have rescheduled
the bye week.
Yeah, you got bye week. You should reschedule. You should reshuffle the calendar to make it fit. But if I asked who's the most physical of the two teams,
between Georgia and
Georgia and Notre Dame. I mean, between Notre Dame and Penn State, who's the most physical of the two teams? And Big Ten fans will say it's Penn State.
They like to think that.
I think it's Notre Dame.
Right.
I was about to say it. In reality, it's Notre Dame.
And who's the most physical between Ohio State and Texas?
Right now, it's Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm getting giddy over the idea that there's enough contrast in these two games that I don't think we can expect anything. We have to go into these two games going, okay, what are we doing? What do we got?
Yeah, it's going to be who doesn't allow the opposing team to jump out of the gates like Arizona State let Texas.
Like Boise let Penn State.
Like Boise
like Georgia
Penn
let
State.
Notre Dame.
Right. So whoever can kind of keep their head above water in that first 6 to 8 minutes of the first quarter will definitely be in the driver's seat. And also right here, I want to give an update. I'm looking on my transfer portal numbers here. It is 100% committed Gabe Irvin to Kansas State. So that is 100% factual. So we can say that with our chest out. So good luck to Gabe. I think these last four is the styles make fights. But then also I think this next 3 to 4 days, or at least 3 to 4 days when you finish playing, are crucial because whatever team, like I'll call it holistically, that's like from player number 1 to I don't know 1 whatever your
104,
104, 105, 130. To say you're from 100 to 103, and especially the starters, the guys that are most dedicated to getting back into reality, knowing that you have another game in a week, another game in a little bit over a week, who's keeping up, with their, recovery, their meals, their weights, the classroom, working hard in practice, and not losing focus and seeing the pot of gold over the rainbow or the finish line. You're thinking that you're close, but yet so far, if you can keep the blinders on the best, that's the team that's going to win. You're not going to out-talent this. Like, this isn't going to be Penn State or Boise, where you say that Penn State defense was moving like Boise never seen before. You're not going to see that in these next two games. You're going to see two teams that are or all four teams extremely talented. So it's going to come down to whoever prepared at the beginning of the week. Once you get on site to whatever the destination is, the hay's in the barn. So you have to really, like for Ohio State, you played a day, you played a day earlier. You got to get on the plane, fly halfway across the country, get back to Columbus, recover, refocus, reality check, handle your tickets and all that stuff, and then get right to work, because you're in essentially more than win or go home. Now you're like Ohio State's facing a different type of animal. Okay, well, we are 2 games away from being national champ, 2 wins, but we got to beat Texas. We probably feel like we're a better team than Texas, but Texas is going to try to put on a better performance than they did against Arizona State. Did that
last year against Washington?
Right.
Texas been to the semis before.
Right, and they've been here. Are they a better team? Who knows? But then also, are they motivated, or was that their wake-up call against Arizona State? Is those lucky plays, or the call that was the worst miss in a long time on the targeting, kind of the thing that gets Texas over the hump? Those are the things that kind of gets into your mind as a player, that you have to overcome, and you have to handle those in those first 3 or 4 days, so you can be supremely focused, both physically, mentally, and spiritually, going in there to play in a game when you're playing for all the marbles. These next 2 games, these are national championship games. Like, you aren't playing this game knowing that you got a game next week. No, this is it. So you have to really focus, and it gets harder every single time. It reminds me of one of my favorite movies, my favorite Bruce Lee movies, Austin, called The Game of Death. And Bruce Lee, was he came over, and then essentially he captured and beat up his sister. So he was trying to find these people. So he went to this like place, in like every level, every guy he fought was more dangerous. And then you couldn't think. You knew you had to, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in it, so he was the top. You couldn't think about Kareem then. You got to get through all the other guys, and that's where they're at right now. Because if you think about Kareem, you're going to get left on level 3. And if you watch the movie, level 3 was the harder fight than Kareem was. And then he was able to give it. So that's a little bit of like movie history, but it's also with the college football playoffs. We'll take a quick break, come back. Let's look at these transfer portal numbers. Obviously, Gabe Irvin has picked it where he wanted to go. There's an interesting quarterback commitment to old Scott Frost down there at UCF. Then we got a wide receiver commit to the Utah Utes DP. I saw early 2025 college football playoff projection. Guess who was in there?
Back in the game.
They were back in the game, and not only back in the game, was supposed to be one of the teams that would get a bye week too. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing an authentic relationship with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-491-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy new year. They are thankful for many things from 2023 and hope that 2024 brings prosperity for you and starts off well for everyone in your life. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman on this Friday. Snow is on the ground, but almost gone. A couple texts here. 5284. It should sure would be nice to have a kid like Xavier Watson, Husker jersey, watching him play at elite level for Notre Dame stings. Stockton played well enough to win for Georgia, but Notre Dame finally got their guy at QB and it's playing off, and it's paying off for them. Still can't stand Notre Dame. I have all those sentiments. The recruiting or lack of recruitment of Xavier Watts is probably be a stain on a prior staff. You know, and look, you just never know. I mean, let's be honest. You don't, you know, if anybody knew that this was Xavier Watts would be, he wouldn't have been able to go to Notre Dame.
Well, don't forget he was recruited as a receiver, and then they moved him to DB.
Yeah, and so, you know, they went with Betts, and Watson is a toss up. So you only can make the decisions of what you have then, and give credit to Xavier of being willing and open to change, number one, and then number two, embracing it and then working his tail off and doing things outside of which is the norm to be one of the best players in the nation and going to be in the NFL and going to continue like that. You got to give that's a lot of credit to him. So he would have done that anywhere where he's at. He just has that in his mindset and bloodline. We got an interesting text here. Greg and Tilden says you can't say with a straight face that Texas team has had to claw its way to wins in the second easiest leg of the bracket. Has a remote chance to beat a team like Ohio State. To beat the brakes off arguably the hardest leg in the playoff. Ohio is a foot on the gas now, or has a foot on the gas now. Texas is how do I get this dang thing out of first gear? There's a little bit of credit to that. And the seeding thing is what we're going to get into at the 5 o'clock hour. What do they need to do? Did they get it totally wrong? Oregon probably got the short end of the stick. You earned it. I would have probably liked to see, some home field for the bye teams. The first round go on neutral site, but we'll dive into that more in the 5 o'clock hour. But Ohio State's playing good right now. Other text here. Hello, Adam. Love your guys' show and Husker Knowledge. I have not heard any of you guys talk about 2025 running backs. What do we have coming in from recruiting or the portal running back help? I think we got a freshman out of Kansas City, St. Louis area that's pretty dang good. And I throw Quentin Ives in there as well because he's essentially redshirted. So you got two guys like that along with Gabe Irvin. And then you got
Emmett Johnson and Mekhi Nelson.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. You got Mekhi Nelson, Emmett Johnson, and the 2 freshmen, but then also you got Connor Booth as well from Wahoo. So I was talking about Gabe Irvin. I can't get him off the brand. I keep looking at his face here, so I'm a little bit messed up. So I apologize for that. So they got a good running back group. You just never know. And the portal is the portal. What's the next thing you want them to get out of the portal, DP? I already know the answer. I'm just going to ask you.
Yeah, I need a silverback.
Backs. We need some backs in here.
Well, no, what I need is
big boys.
I need a club bouncer. I need the club bouncer. I need the one of one.
Yeah.
Get me the guy that in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, Los Angeles, California, that when things get hairy, there's somebody that clears space, resets the boundary, lets people know how we're going to do business. That's what, look, all the glamour stuff, I'm cool. You got Dylan Raiola, and now, you know what? Give me bookends of go find 2 of the, and listen, they don't have to be 5-star, but get me 2 big dudes with snot bubbles. That's what I need. And they wipe it with the back of their hand. Right? I need them dudes. The dude that'll hit you with the rocket, right? Because he's too busy fighting to really take care of himself.
Yeah.
He puts one finger up to a nostril and hits it from about 15 yards, and he puts his hand in the dirt to block somebody else. I need 2 of them dudes. And I don't care where you get them from. And there's all sorts of FCS places you can get them. Some angry dudes. You know what? He was a little slow in high school. He was a little slow academically in high school. But he went to a small place, and he got fed, and he got angry, and he realized, you know what? I'm too good to be here. I need to be somewhere else. And somebody going to call him and say, hey, little man, come on up here and beat people up. And he's going to say, yeah, and Nebraska will be better for it. That's what I need, 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Some linemen and stuff like that. I think the skill position, everything else, they're doing a great job at it. But that takes a little bit longer with linemen because they're such a hot commodity. So we shall see. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break, come back. We'll talk about the portal. More importantly, we'll talk about the college football playoffs and the seedings and how they went about it. Did they get it totally wrong, or will they be able to come up at the end with a good product? Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at CoppelCars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Mail. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Mail, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie cutter about Limitless Mail? The incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, Old School. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients at Butcher Shop. We are in the college football playoff segment. Do the powers that be get it right or get it totally wrong or somewhere in between? A lot has been said about the teams that had bye weeks. All 4 of them lost. Is that a one-off circumstance or a byproduct of not being able to play in that first week? That's question number 1. Number 2, should the teams that earn the bye week, so the Oregons, the Arizona States, the Boise's, Georgia, should they get the home games instead of the first round games? Because when you think about it, this is the question I want you guys to think about as you answer the first one. It's not what's the incentive. The incentive is obviously time off. But I'd rather have that time off and be playing at home as well. Give me your thoughts on that, whatever one you want to go with, whether it's the seeding or should they flip when they play on-site or off-site based on if you have a bye week or not.
like we at the highest level of football, at the highest level, right? We understand that the playoffs have evolved. And so much so that 7 not division or conference title or division champions have won the Super Bowl. Another 4 or 5 have made it to the Super Bowl from the wild card position. So there's a way. We understand that sometimes the best team doesn't win the championship. We know that in every sport. It happens in basketball. We actually get surprised when all 4 number 1 seeds make it to the Final Four. We actually get surprised because, oh my goodness. Matter of fact, there are a lot of people that make a lot of money in March because they know that good teams
are good,
but they will screw up and get beat at critical moments. Right. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about Virginia, Georgetown. Like, we can go through a lot of Arizona, a lot of number 1s get got because you still have to compete. One, you earn the right to be there, and you earn the right to, you know what, heal up. Because you play the extra game of playing in a championship game. The wild card teams don't necessarily play in the championship game. They don't always, some of them do, and they get beat. But some of them don't. You still have to compete. As a number 1 seed or as a conference champion, whatever, I don't care what other people are doing. It's none of my business who shows up at my door to play in front of me, because I need to win X number of games, 1 at a time, to win a championship. And if I fail, it's on me.
And there's no excuse for Oregon looking as bad as it did. No excuse for Oregon looking the way it did specifically against Ohio State. That's the game to me that I think a lot of this boils down to, because I think it's a perfect encapsulation of the entire situation, the good, the bad, the ugly, what people want to stay the same, what people want to change. Is yes, Oregon was the best team all year long. They didn't act like it against Ohio State. But I think there is some validity to saying Ohio State with the, yes, I mean, every team wants a week off to recover. A team like Oregon, to me, probably needed that week a little bit less, right? Timing based with Dylan Gabriel, stay in flow, stay in rhythm. Physical enough, but not overly physical, not exactly what they need, not incredibly banged up team where they need an extra week to get guys healthy. But then it goes back to the highest level of football, the NFL. We give the 1 seeds that earn it over the course of 18 weeks and 17 games both advantages.
Yeah.
They get the week off and they get the home game.
Yeah.
Right? That to me is the point. They get both. You don't have to pick one or the other. You get both. And yes, there is randomness, but the teams that introduce the randomness pretty much do it on their own. The randomness isn't gifted to them. They got to earn it. They didn't have as good a regular season. If we want it to be meaningful, then we need to give enough advantage to the top teams without making it impossible for the bottom teams. And the NFL's kind of figured that out.
Yeah, and you've seen some wild card teams get all the way through. I mean, whether it's the Pittsburgh Steelers or Green Bay, shortly after they can get busy, and let alone is maybe not winning the Super Bowl in this case or winning national championship, but getting all the way to, like, say, the Final Four, or like a week in this type. You know, I think, in just my opinion, that if you, well, number one, I think they got the seedings wrong. But if you kept the seedings the same, I would rather see the teams that earned a bye week or you've awarded a bye week to, that be the home sites. And the teams that are in, then you pick bowl game specific to maybe geographic area or matchup, so forth and so on. Now, that's going to be controlled by seedings.
So should the NFL get away with teams 1, 2, 3, 4 being division champs too? Why would that be different from the NFL to college? What's the argument?
Well, because there's 14 in the NFL and there's only 12. It's number one. Number two, it's the way college football playoffs. You don't, like, NFL games, like, if you, the teams that get buys are at home, but the teams that are in the wild card weekend, they're playing at home sites. You're going to a neutral site,
yeah,
which would create some the same excitement. You get what I'm saying? Because I think if you had a game of, let's just say, Boise against SMU, and say they played whatever bowl game at Jerry's World, like that a little bit better. I don't know if I'd like Boise at the Rose Bowl, maybe not, but a different one, maybe Fiesta Bowl, something like that. I think the bowl games in the first week are better than the second week.
But isn't that what happens if you let's say for the sake of this that Oregon gets the host against Boise State, and then Boise in that first game, and some Boise linebacker takes a shot at the quarterback, knocks him out, affects the rest of the tournament. Then it's well, why are they playing the extra game? And why are they? No matter what direction you go,
there's always going to be pushback.
There's always going to be some pushback. So in these big committees, and Jay, I'm not sure if you've been in those rooms, but having been in those rooms at high school levels, the question becomes ultimately you want the thing decided on the field.
Yeah.
On the court, on the field, on the diamond, you just do. Baseball, it's the same rule. Best team, you won the district. Do you think you deserve a bye? Well, it allows you to protect your arm. Then they go, well, it didn't work because he took an extra day. He had an extra day of rest and it threw them off.
We had the same conversation with the Dodgers, right? The Padres beat the Mets. Yep. The Dodgers are rusty. The Dodgers find a way to come back to win. It's all post-hoc rationalization.
It really is. And ultimately,
because it didn't work out the way that it was supposed to. So everybody wants to fix it. And I don't think you change. I just think originally I would have rather. I think if you have went through now, granted, this is if the regular season actually meant something. But let's just say those were the 4 teams that were the best, and they were awarded or they earned the bye week. I would, if I was Oregon, if I was ASU, and especially if I was Boise, because it looked so cold up there when they played UNLV. You get 2 more weeks to get cold, boy. It might you might not be able to play. And if you're Georgia, I think if I earned the bye week or I was awarded the seat of the bye week, I want those games at home.
You would rather play the game than not play the game.
No, I'm saying if I'm Georgia,
because I think that's going to be the question.
Well, sure, but if I'm Oregon, I don't have a choice. I'm undefeated. I'm in a bye week. I'd rather play in Oregon, my first game at home. I'm number 1.
Well, that's doing business,
right?
Because that's, to me, that's how they extended this thing to get bowl games to say, hey man, what about our matchups and our money? Can you give us, okay, well now we'll give you a meaningful game instead of it just being money for Oregon. That's different. College football made more money by this game being neutral site than it would have been in Oregon. So this is a money decision, not a football decision.
Right. Yeah, but I'm just saying if I'm Dan Lanning and if I'm a player, I'd rather, okay, right here, right? Just say Nebraska was about to play last week in the snow on the ground. I'd rather play the Miami Hurricanes in here. No, that's not going to happen. And then you can't play at the Rose Bowl probably within 10 days. You can't do that just because of the turf. So I mean, but for me now, back to playing on the field. To your question, if I'm a team and we're relatively healthy, right? And say that, it is different. Say say it was Notre Dame, Georgia in the Big Ten or
let's say it was Georgia and your quarterback needs 2 extra days to recover.
You would rather not play, but for me as a player and as a coach, when you're at this point, I'd rather play. I'd rather be on point because as much as you think first of all, these guys don't practice at the type of rate that we did. So you're fresher than you actually think. And when you're supremely talented, like a team like Oregon or Ohio State, you've been kind of talent, pimping everybody. So you're a little bit fresher. I'd rather be in rhythm because when you face a team like Ohio State, that Oregon's looking across the line of scrimmage at guys that are more talented, more experienced, because when you look at Ohio State, top players, it's 5 and 5th year or 5-year guys and 4-year guys, and they're in rhythm, and they got a little bit of confidence of beating up on Tennessee at home. Oh, you in for a different dogfight than catching them on week 3 out there in Oregon. You ain't even sharp. So because you can't replicate that
not in practice.
No, not at this point in the season, let alone at any point. You don't have Jeremiah Smith out there on scout team. You got Taz Johnson and at
Nevin
Ohio
Stewart.
Right. Those guys are like no disrespect to them.
Right.
But they're 4th, 5th team at Ohio State. You not ready for that type of heat.
Well,
and you ain't got a warm up to get up in it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What Oregon figured out was you still have to compete. It
Right.
doesn't, nothing is given, everything earned. And listen, you can say, hey, it's hard to get to game speed. But Oregon, I guarantee you, they walked into this thing thinking it didn't matter who we played.
And we beat them
where we
last
played,
time.
or where we played.
Yeah.
Championship teams say, I don't care.
Yeah.
It used to be in the NFL where those playoff games were played on site. It wasn't a neutral thing.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl was neutral. Everything else
was on site.
Hey,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, everybody got to go through KC
Yeah.
in their weather at home and deal with it. If you're look, the Sunday night's game tells us everything. Do you want an indoor game in Detroit or an indoor game in Minnesota? We just gonna fight it out and see. One of them gets to play at home. The system, everybody knows the rules for winning a championship. You're going to have to go on the road. You're going to have to get healthy. You're going to have to play on a neutral site. Those are the rules, and it's for everybody. Oregon just didn't get it done.
Yeah.
Georgia just didn't get it done. And it's okay to say, listen, you got in, what Jim Valvano say? Win in advance.
Yep. Doesn't matter what it looks like.
It doesn't matter. We could have gone through. NC State was a 10 seed. Should they have won the title under Valvano? Nope. They went through all the number ones, went to their crib, went on the road, won, and got a title. And legends are made.
Yep.
You can either be the legend or a part of the story.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see what type of adjustments they make, or do they, hold pat and say, listen, let's get a 2-year look at this thing versus switching it in a year, as far as the committee goes. And then as far as I think one of the tricky thing goes, and I think this worked maybe in Ohio State's advantage of losing to Michigan, where Ryan Day had more experience, I think, in my opinion, than Dan Lannon in this situation, to where you finish the season, even if he had won against Michigan and say won the Big Ten championship, immediately it's straight up. It's like almost going from pool play to bracket play. It's a total. I got to coach and I got to manage it a lot different, because everything is amped up and everything's more important. How we practice, how we prepare is so much different than being in pool play, even though you're trying to win every game. And Oregon probably came in a little bit overconfident. But I think Oregon also sometimes, when you kind of skate by and you aren't dominant, you can start to think you're dominant when you're not. And here's what I mean. When you watch that Penn State game, the scoreboard didn't reflect how much Penn State was able to do offensively and defensively from a positive standpoint. They were able to, in a lot of ways, dictate the line of scrimmage. That's number one. They were able to, in a lot of ways, find some explosive plays, opportunities, maybe just didn't hit on them. That's number two. And then number three, which obviously was probably the most important, I felt like Penn State was as physical, or and a lot of times more physical, than Oregon. And then you take 2 weeks off, essentially, maybe even a little bit longer than that. And now you play a team that's went through the grinder of embarrassing themselves at home against their rival, having a national news story as far as, getting pepper sprayed, potentially talking about their coach getting fired, potentially talking about the seniors that are there, jumping in the draft because everybody just throwing their arms up, taking their ball and going home, and then coming back together and actually believing in a purpose. And then go out there on the same home field that the last time that they were out there, they embarrassed themselves, alumni and everything on national TV, and play a team coming up there from Tennessee who everybody said that were more physical across the line, both lines of scrimmage. And you had to answer the bell against a next generation type of quarterback in Nico. And the running, everything that you had to face, you have to go out there and face it. They've been through more recent adversity than Oregon. That was a separator as well. So when Oregon start to make their run, score right before halftime, score right on the first drive coming back, what does Ohio State does? Oh no, we've been here and done that.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Oh, you want to play around a little bit? We're going to score and then shut you down and essentially shut the door. So that's where I think there might be some adjustment. But ultimately, like DP says, when you play in these games, You got to step up and play, and you got to win them. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You got to have 1 point more than the other team whenever the game's finished, and you got to win by a missed call, say in Texas's standpoint. You got to win with a walk-off, essentially, I call it, 4th and 13 dime to allows you to kind of get over the hump. That means, in a boxing analogy, you were getting beat. You ever remember DP? You know your UFC. What's the guy was it Francois that left? Him and Dana hated each other. Right. You remember the fight where he was kind of like he was out on his feet, and then he hit him with one just kind of eyes closed, haymaker, dropped him. That led him to stardom. Mm-hmm. You need that sometimes. Yeah. I mean, heck, look, 97. Now, people don't realize it was third down. All they see is like, okay, Chevin Wiggins kind of dropped the ball, kind of went, accidentally went off his foot. Here comes Matt Davidson, right? You need some of that. But that propelled us to, hey, what we did to Texas A&M should have been against the law. Because if we would have played Texas A&M a week after Missouri, we might not have won. But what we did to Texas A&M was a byproduct of Missouri. Because
learning how to compete,
right?
There's so much and it's John Wooden's pyramid of success that you have to, at the top of it, you have to understand that in those great moments, everything that you've done to that great moment has to fall in line. There are a lot of people that have all the things, all the character traits and all the skills. Great skills is below your ability to compete at the highest moment, the greatest moment of competition. And that is the separator of every great program, every great player, every great coach. How do you finish and execute in the greatest moment of all? Duke, Christian Laettner in the greatest moment of all. Grant Hill in the greatest moment of all. Bobby Hurley facing down UNLV and one of the greatest teams ever.
Yeah, we don't know. We're going to talk about it. I mean, we're going to. I forgot about it now. Now we can get Everett on the phone. I got to ask him. It's 2024. I'm going to ask him every year.
But I asked Farley this morning. How cool would it have been, aside from all the talking heads, all the opinion polls, all the votes, that the two teams in 97 could have just met and worked it out, right? That for all the stuff and the greatest moments to see the greatest players, the greatest teams.
Yeah, we don't got to hear.
Actually compete.
Yeah.
I don't need your opinion. I don't need none of that. We ain't got to talk about it no more. We're going to put our hand in the grass and see who the better team is. And for that day,
great.
I
for
think,
one side.
Well, but we need for all of the analytic people to get out of the way and let people play football like they did this week.
You just need to roll the ball out there and see.
Hey, man, listen,
and come back with it.
How good a shape are your 97 teammates in? Would 97 Michigan want that smoke even today?
Would you do a flag football game for the actual chip?
Well, they had Charles Woodson and he's still in post NFL shape, so that's a outlier. But
so are you? Look at you.
No,
you walking around every day.
No, I'm barely.
I'm trying.
No.
I'm trying, Jay.
But you know what? Say what you want about Scott Frost in hellified shape, and we had Amon Green. You know what? Yeah. I like our chances.
Yeah.
I like our chances because our linemen are still lineman size. I like our chances.
So I thought.
Yeah.
Right.
And AG.
Right. AG still can get.
AG still get you a G. So he gonna keep running that thing. Yeah, because AG ain't gonna let it go. So I think, I like our chances.
Like
Makovic is a little bit small now. You know what I mean? He's all lean in.
Look, for 6 months we could get it back.
Oh, we can get it back up. Yeah.
Like you can get everybody. But this is the thing, and this is why when people talk about NIL and transfer portal and the extended playoff system and all, it's people talking. And I'm a coach and a former jock. I like the idea of just getting nose to nose and working stuff out.
Yeah,
Stop
You're
it.
a big simplified guy.
Listen, two men enter the octagon, one leaves with their hand up. That to me is the essence of what competing is.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to talk about, hey man, I think I could beat you. No, work it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, you got, you always wonder what if we would have got a bit of Lockhorns, but You just never know. And the transfer portal, I think, has taken away those type of long history of rivalries. And the rivalries just aren't team to team. It's player against player. You know, like Frazier against Cordell Stewart. That's what that's what it's about, man. Like, who's going to outperform? Well, heck, you don't be surprised if Jalen Milroe goes back into the portal after he declared for the pros and ends up somewhere else, and he plays Alabama next year. Who knows? You think Auburn's not calling him? Hey, man, look, I know it didn't happen down there, but we got a nice fat check on you right here. We will surround you with great players. So you just never know in this day and age. But speaking of the portal, we're going to take a quick break and come back. We're going to give a portal update because I'm going to say this. There's a sneaky get by old sneaky Scott Frost down there at UCF. I'm telling you right now. I know he probably has some good, but I'm telling you, I watched this dude on a middle of like the night in April in his spring game. He can play. We've seen him up close this year with Nebraska. Pretty big get there by Scott Frost and company down there at UCF. Jay Foreman, DP Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at KoppelCars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy new year. They are thankful for many things from 2023 and hope that 2024 brings prosperity for you and starts off well for everyone in your life. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Mail. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Mail, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie cutter about Limitless Mail? The incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. Quick segment or quick check-in on our second segment here on the portal. We're going to jump into this NFL playoffs too. We can't because we got a little bit of a Nebraska connection with Joe Burrow, but we got the big game, aka the Vikings against the Fighting Nick Saints. But the transfer portal, I mentioned it before we went to the break. UCF signed Austin. Did you see this? Taven Jackson from Indiana. Think he was number 2 at Indiana. He committed 6'4", 212 pounds, 3-star in the transfer portal rankings, 0.86 going to UCF. Definitely is a legit passer, very smooth, and he's a RPO type of quarterback as well.
That's a guy that can run but doesn't have to.
Right.
It's kind of the Marcus Mariota, Mackenzie Milton mold, right? Where you have mobility, you can use him on the run outside of the pocket, but you don't have to rely on the legs for value. Interesting young piece. That's an interesting guy too, because think about Scott Frost and his trip back. That's the guy he's hitching the wagon to. What does that tell you about Scott Frost, what he wants to build?
Yeah, it's one of them, and you know, he's bringing in competition, but being a former quarterback himself, obviously he's keeping a keen eye on it. And Mackenzie Melton is his quarterback coach, so he's probably taken, I'm assuming, a lot of input from him.
Hey, we're all excited about this, aren't we?
No, but no, I'm not. But I just thought it was interesting when you're trying to build a team. That's the dude you pick.
Listen. You can't deliver me that kind of comedy. That joke writes itself. Say, hey everybody, we're gonna go to Central Florida. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down because hey, last time we were down here, we went undefeated, and we're gonna be because we got it right. We have all the answers now.
I think he'll do. Obviously, I don't think they'll be able to go undefeated. I think he'll do well.
Hey Jay, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
I'll ask you both. Can you give me 2 sentences of the referral letter.
Leave that man alone, man. Let that man. Listen,
I just need to know what kind of reference check was done.
Leave that man Scott
What
Frost
kind
alone.
of reference check? Who got the email that said, "Hey, we're thinking about hiring somebody who used to work for you"? What kind of reference?
I mean, he. All jokes aside, he won when last time he was there. You know what I'm saying?
Scott Frost is a proven innovative mind on the offensive side of the football. Scott Frost has excited many fan bases and knows how to stir up passion.
Here's what I'm going to say, man. Here's what I'm going to say about Scott Frost.
Scott Frost is in shape and could play for the 97 flag football team.
Yes, that he can, because he still gets jacked up. He still can't whoop me, though. But
hey, can you write? Hey, Austin, will you write a letter, a referral letter down to UCF? Can you let them know?
I'll get the PBA early tomorrow. Can you
imagine that phone call?
Can you imagine that?
I'm not making a statement about what is being said.
He already hate Nebraska, man. My man don't want to even come back here no more, man. Leave that man alone. Let him come home.
What would you say about somebody that came to work for J. Foreman Enterprises and their last boss? One, you're not going to talk to him. You're not going to talk to their last boss. And then you ask them, hey, tell me about your former employer. Because most people who hire would say, I'm paying attention to what you say about the last people you work for, because it tells you how you can talk about me real soon.
I will tell you that probably would have been the interesting part, but I think UCF might have, I wouldn't say desperate, but was kind of a little bit down the list, and you know that you can dice it up a little bit. He's with Sean McVay. He probably got a good letter of recommendation from Sean. I'm almost guaranteed he did. I'm gonna say this, man. It's 2025. I'm not gonna try. I will forgive him for some pretty big things, but I ain't forgetting. I wish him all the luck in the world. Just because, look, man, he's a coach.
I'm not rooting against anybody.
I wish him all the luck in the world. I mean, I'm not going to cheer for him. I'm not going to cheer against him. I want him to do well.
But there's some things I need to understand. Like, I want to understand how this went down. That's all listen.
Go
and win all your games where Nebraska is not involved. Cool. Do all that. Go 13, 14, whatever the number is. Go do your thing. I still need to understand the process. Natural curiosity says,
hold on.
How does this work?
Hold on, you seen him, bro. What's old buddy at Auburn?
How does this work?
Hugh Freeze?
Yeah, Hugh Freeze.
Wasn't he at Auburn? Or he was at Ole Miss?
He was at Ole Miss.
Right?
Yeah, the same thing. The same thing.
He
got in real big trouble.
Tell me about your former employer.
Hugh Freeze just did the same thing. Now, the only difference between Scott Frost and Hugh Freeze went to Liberty.
Well, Hugh Freeze broke rules. Scott Frost just didn't succeed.
And that's breaking a rule.
Austin?
So
what? Austin?
Hey, leave that man.
Try to give the man.
You guys, listen, man. Everybody leave that man.
Scott Frost's NCAA crime was having a special teams analyst coach.
Cause? Is that?
Leave that man alone.
Okay.
Man.
Wait a minute.
That's dead, man.
You brought it up.
I'm just
minding my own business. And you brought it up.
It was interesting in the portal that he got a what I think because of the quarterback that ended up starting for Indiana. They were neck and neck, and I remember watching him. I remember coming in here and talking about it. I was up for whatever reason. It was on Big Ten. I was like, man, let me just see how this dude's gonna do. Signetti in his spring game, and I was like, well, number one, I was impressed by the flow of the spring game and the talent that they had, and they had two legitimate quarterbacks because Tom Allen would tell you that was one of the things that really held them back after Michael Penix left. And then Scott Frost picked him up, man. And, I know he's still a hot topic. He's kind of like Bo Pelini. He's going to be a hot topic. But I forgive him.
I forgave
him.
No. I got my fingers crossed a little bit. I ain't mad at him. Frost is, he ain't no different than what I knew. So you can't,
you're just going to throw you're going to throw lobs up there, aren't you?
Yeah, because we're going to break. We got to be on time. We got hard out.
We have a hard
we got hard out because we need to talk about this football weekend on the short segment. So we're gonna go to break, and we're gonna give Scott Frost a break because it's New Year's. It's 2025.
Yes, we are.
He the head coach, and Jay Foreman DP, y'all. So we're gonna be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
New year, new you? Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th, but if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Male. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Male, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie cutter about Limitless Male, the incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had, with most clubs open 24 hours, so you can work out your way on your time. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 10th. See Home Club for details.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's Recovery Lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. A little bit of a longer last segment here before we send you off to the weekend. But I'm gonna be petty here, okay? Since you were talking about Frost, I'm not sticking up for him. I'm gonna tell you another coach. Apples to apples that left and came back. Rich Rod left. Greener pastures. Failed miserably at Michigan. Got ran out of Michigan immediately, like DP says, and came back to West Virginia. There you go. It can happen. You can forgive him. Or you can't forget.
You forget, that's on you.
Yeah. Anyways,
there's some different rules for some different folks. That's all.
That is 1,000% true. So, but you wish them all the luck, and if they don't take advantage of their last opportunity, that's on them again. Anyways, big NFL weekend, DP. Yep. Obviously with the Chiefs locked and loaded. I want your thoughts on this. And this is probably actually one of the most important, subjects to me, because it has playoff ramifications, history, legacy ramifications. Doesn't matter whether it's a 16, 17, 14 game. It does, but, when the feat is still phenomenal. What are your guys' thoughts on Nick Sirianni making the decision? I'm assuming he consulted with Saquon. It didn't sound like it. When you've been in those locker rooms and you answer that type of question or answer the question the way he did a really good job of dancing around it. Sounded and looked by his body language. I'm no expert, but it looked like he wanted to play. What are you guys' thoughts on him, willingly or unwillingly, or just being the good teammate and good guy that he is, sitting out and not taking a shot at breaking Eric Dickerson's record, not only to get the record, legacy in history and NFL history, like he said, but the sweetest part, against the Giants, the team that essentially said, you're not good enough for for less money that the Eagles paid you, to stick the dagger in the heart in the Giants head coach and GM.
I'm calling it right now. First snap, Saquon is at tailback. Like literally, go out. Nope. Like go out and warm ups. Don't have pads. Go out there and do the thing. Go back in, and you come out. You got one of those, because it's gonna be cold, so he'll have one of those tarps over him, right? Somebody else covering. He'll have a hat on and a hood, full hood.
Mm-hmm.
And first offensive drive, he dropped that cape, put the helmet on.
He doing the Willis Reed.
Oh man, he out there. He'll be in and go bang his head on the goalpost. And then
two carries, 120. All right,
just stand there, right? Just stand there and say, listen, there's zero chance. I would be petty like that. I would be petty.
That the offensive line is definitely motivated. Before we say that, big shout out to Cam Jurgens. Replacing a first ballot Hall of Famer, first year running the show as a center, makes the Pro Bowl, and definitely earned it. And came a long way from being
had a good year,
outlier for, of an athlete, just an explosive dude from Beatrice, small town Beatrice, to a Pro Bowl. Big shout out to him. But, in these type of situations, you've seen it in recent history. I remember when Chris Johnson had to get it and Adrian Peterson had to get it. Those offensive linemen and the whole team, the defense feels it as well. I've never been a part of it, but I know the defense, we got to get off the field to give them more chances. It's just interesting, even though the Eagles, have the number 2 seed set up or locked in, with a lot of layoffs now. We talked about it with the Kansas City Chiefs now because of injuries. It allows Patrick Mahomes to be fully healthy, even though he looks, extremely healthy.
Are we burying the lead that Mahomes is not a Pro Bowl quarterback?
No.
Like
Mm-mm. I mean, it's a big story, but when you look at the guys that made him, the one that I would probably be shaky on would be, oddly enough, Joe Burrow. Since the DP right, let's just run right in there.
Right.
I would probably, if it was me, Joe Burrow is up for the MVP, and I'm saying this, and it doesn't make sense, right? Patrick Mahomes is not in the MVP race. If Patrick Mahomes was going to replace somebody, because they only take 3, I would say Joe Burrow out because of the wins and losses for Patrick Mahomes and the lack of wins for Joe Burrow.
It's situations like these that are always fascinating because I think that you still take Patrick Mahomes over Joe Burrow if you're starting your franchise today. You absolutely do that. But that's why when it comes to all-star voting, to Pro Bowl voting, stuff like that, I love that we get these. It's not even really a random one-off, right? Because Joe Burrow is still a great elite quarterback in the NFL. But I don't think all-star and Pro Bowl should be legacy things until you're doing like your Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade, super end of their career stuff. Like, yeah, you take Patrick Mahomes right now. He's one of the most 5 valuable players in the league every year. But guess what? His stats don't measure up right now. Even if he's still having the same impact on winning, the Pro Bowl, the All-Star game are just such casual events. We don't need to have big think pieces about, oh, Mahomes actually valuable. He's been in every year.
It's more
guess
all
what?
pro
Guys
now.
are going to look at his stats. He's still probably going to be, like you said, all-pro or in consideration for it. And being all-pro means more than being a Pro Bowler at the end of the day. So it's weird. It's a weird look, but it also makes perfect sense. And I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I just thought because I don't know what the answer to the question is, but isn't he still the most valuable player in the NFL? Even if he's not the best player, I mean, he may still be the most
valuable player.
He still may be the best player,
even though he won't get the award.
Andy Reid won't get Coach of the Year.
Right?
Chris Jones won't get Defensive Player of the Year.
Is he okay? So then there's 2 questions: is he the best player in the NFL?
I
Is
think
Patrick
so.
Mahomes still the best player in the NFL?
For my money,
Jay. And then is he the most valuable? I think he's the most valuable player to the NFL.
That's what he is.
Right?
He's not the most valuable player this year.
But
he's the most valuable player to the league, just big picture.
But he
this
will
year,
have more.
no.
He will have more input and more direct impact on how this season plays out than any player in the NFL. This postseason, the Super Bowl goes through Patrick Mahomes more than it goes through Kansas City, and more than it goes through Andy Reid. It goes through Patrick Mahomes.
Until somebody decides we got to take him out.
Well, but that's
Buffalo's decided that a couple times, hasn't worked out for him. So we'll see if
No,
it's
I'm talking about for real.
Greg Williams style,
Yeah,
New Orleans style.
don't matter wherever Greg went. I wonder where he's at too.
Let's see.
You got to take him out.
The texter says that he chooses Burrow over Mahomes. Stop it.
It's two different. It's two different players. Joe Burrow is
Worlds
cold-blooded.
colliding. Worlds colliding. Greg Williams, currently the defensive coordinator for the DC Defenders of the United Football League.
Yeah.
There you go.
Greg Williams is in DC, baby.
I did know that. I actually saw him there. I should have said that. I saw him on my last trip back.
He still got them black. Hey, he looked like a lunatic with them glasses.
Oh, he looked.
He looks like one. Is he not one?
Well, he looked like the dude that
because he colored his goatee.
Right, but he
Sounds
looks
like
like
right.
the dude that security that the security at Northwest Field would wonder how is that guy on the sideline.
He looks
like the people are questioning. Like literally, you have security dudes going, "Hey, anybody know this guy?"
He looked like the dude when he walks through TSA. Somebody's phone, maybe. We had a problem with.
Someone tell this guy is walking out Concourse City.
Okay, so we have like 2 minutes. Can I do the thing with both of y'all that I like to do with Austin every now and then? You have to take one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two.
This or that.
Right? This or that. Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. You can only take one.
I'm taking Josh.
Probably Josh.
Josh Allen or Joe Burrow.
Josh
Allen or Patrick Mahomes.
I gotta take Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I just
until dethroned, Mahomes is Mahomes.
But I think that's the top of the league. It's Mahomes. Allen is maybe in that Mahomes tier. If not, he's a half step behind. Lamar, I put
Josh
up right
Allen
there
is
with.
not Lamar Jackson yet. Like, can we stop? I know he's your boy, but stop.
No, he's my
Lamar's
boy.
a two-time MVP.
He's my boy, though.
Two-time
He is.
MVP.
No, the DP.
You would take the fight.
Hold on.
Foreman's-
I'm
the
just
fight
telling you
Foreman's
right
would
now. Take Austin out of it.
Yeah.
This is your clip.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is my boy. He is cyborg. He is one-on-one.
You will take
He's
him.
that. He's that dude.
What has
and
he
you
done?
gonna
That,
see
what
it.
has he done that Lamar Jackson hasn't done
And
already?
I want this clip.
Tell me. Give me the answer.
I want this clip.
What has he done?
I'm about to show you the answer.
Okay, give it to me.
It's go. We got it. I need a couple.
Oh,
I need a few.
it ain't happened yet. It ain't happened yet. Okay, Keith Sweat. I'm gonna. You out here singing Keith Sweat. You out here swinging. Look, stop giving people credit for stuff they haven't done. Amazing, Jay Foreman. Amazing, Keith Sweat. Okay, Keith Sweat.
Hey, hook, line.
I'm gonna.
I reeled in the muskie that I ain't never caught.
I'm gonna. He out here talking about what I'm gonna do.
Hey, all I know is we about to see.
Two-time MVP, live in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the one this year is going to be in Buffalo.
Oh, I'm gonna.
In Cheektowaga.
Austin, you hear this man?
I've been defending Lamar.
I'm gonna.
Don't put that on me.
Right. You
I
hear
picked
this
Josh
man?
Allen, but I've been defending Lamar.
Oh man, Jay Foreman, I'm playing.
I love Lamar.
I'm playing both sides. I come out on top.
I love Lamar,
With the
except for after week 17.
What'd he say? Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Hey, man.
Winter is coming.
Hey, man. Hey, Josh going to do his thing.
Oh, we heard that
Dude,
the last 4 years.
And he's been doing it ever since.
All the way
Check the
to the
stats.
AFC Championship game.
Exactly. Until they decide not to cover it, Tyreek Hill and or Travis Kelce with 13 seconds left. I still need some answers like that. But with the answer to us, we're going to the weekend. Old school, Jay Foreman, TP Austin, man. Appreciate you guys listening. We'll holler at you.